Hi, Miss Safi here. Thank you so much for joining me. In this lesson today, we are going to go over the 5-paragraph essay, a cornerstone of every high school student's career. You have to know this stuff. You always write 5-paragraph essays. No, sometimes the assignment will call for a longer length essay, but the components are still the same. So let's look at those components in today's lesson. So a 5-paragraph essay should have the following basic format. You should have 5 paragraphs, which are indicated by these Roman numerals. This is a very important piece of the writing process. I suggest you always do a rough outline like this before you write anything, because this really helps formulate your thoughts before you dive into a draft. If you have everything worked out here, it's going to be a lot easier when you go into drafting an essay. So you need to have a hook, background information, and a thesis statement. You also want to have 3 body paragraphs, which will come directly from the 3 points you make in your thesis statement, and you'll want to have at least 5 sentences for each of these body paragraphs and a conclusion, and we'll look at how all this comes together. So let's start with the introduction. An introduction gives background information on your subject. It introduces the reader to your topic. So what should you include? Well, try to pick things that you would want to know about your topic if someone were telling you about it. Some other good information to include is information about the author. If you're critiquing a book or doing a book review, was the author's background important to the piece? Background information concerning the piece you're writing about, like when was it written, who wrote it, and why. If you're doing a literary analysis, this is definitely something you'll want to bring in. And then something else you could include is background of the issue you're writing about. So just some ways to dive into your introduction. So within that introduction, you need to have a thesis statement. So a thesis is your paper boiled down into one specific sentence. It's really, really critical. It sets the tone and the organization for your essay. It should have 3 points specifically laid out in the order you want to discuss them. So if your thesis statement was about dogs being great pets, then it could read something like this. Dogs are great pets because they help owners get exercise and are loyal and friendly. So that means that in this particular paper, I can expect that one paragraph is going to be about helping owners get exercise, and then another will be about loyalty and friendliness. So this will set the order of the organization for the paper. If this was the thesis that you were using, the paper should follow the format it lays out. The first body paragraph should be about dogs helping owners get exercise. Paragraph 2 is about dogs being loyal. And then paragraph 3 should be about dogs being friendly. You should be able to transition. What is a topic sentence? So this is basically a topic sentence is sort of like a thesis, but on a smaller level. It's your paragraph boiled down into one sentence. It summarizes one thesis point and should correspond clearly to your thesis statement. If we use the example thesis from the previous slide, a good topic sentence for the first paragraph could be something like this. Because dogs need to be taken for walks, they provide a fun, safe way for owners to get exercise. Now remember, in our thesis statement we said the first point that we're going to discuss in the body is going to be the dogs helping owners get exercise. So now that we're into the first body paragraph, here is a topic sentence for that paragraph, which directly supports what you said in the thesis statement. So what about the points that go into the body? Well, you want to have at least 2 points that you use in each of your body paragraphs that should support the topic sentence of your paragraph, which also connect back to your thesis statement. So everything is connected back to that thesis. For example, if you wanted to give two supporting points about dogs being loyal, you could talk about how dogs can protect their owners and about how dogs will love owners no matter what. When you pick your points, make sure they really support your topic, sentence, and thesis. They should be relevant. So what's a conclusion like? Well, a conclusion should do just what it says, conclude things. It can get a little tricky though. You should not introduce new information into your conclusion. If you have not talked about it before your conclusion, then don't use it. Also, don't copy and paste parts from your paper. Wrap up your ideas but say them in a new way. Readers don't want to read the same sentences over and over. They want you to remind them of what you've been saying and what your point is, but in new words. Don't just wrap up with, dogs make great pets because. Say something like, people ought to consider getting dogs. Not only are dogs loving, caring, and loyal, but they are good with people and provide a healthy pastime for their owners. We're not adding anything new here. This is the same topic or thesis statement that we had that supports the body of the essay, but we're just using different words. Obviously, this would need to be a little longer to be a good conclusion for an actual essay, but hopefully it will give you the idea of what your conclusion should be like. Let's look at how we bring all of this together. So let's look at how all this can come together. There's an introduction, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4, and a conclusion, and that makes up a 5-paragraph essay. So let's bring it all together. Let's say the topic of essay is going to be my favorite holiday. So this is what your teacher wants you to write about, your favorite holiday. So I'm going to write about the 4th of July and why this would be my favorite. So this was our thesis. I like the 4th of July because we always have good food to eat. We spend time with family, and especially because we watch colorful fireworks. So right here is what we said would appear in the first body paragraph, and sure enough, that's what was there. In the second body paragraph, we're going to talk about spending time with the family, and in the third body paragraph, so here was the first body paragraph. And again, just like we said in the thesis statement, this is following up. This is about spending time with the family. So I want you to notice that every sentence in this paragraph directly supports this. There is nothing that is not connected to the stuff that's in yellow. If it wasn't connected to that, it shouldn't be in the paragraph. So next, it is always fun when my family gets together on the 4th of July. Each holiday, my uncles and aunts bring their families to our house. In the morning, we usually go swimming in the lake behind our house or ride horses through the pasture. Afterwards, we have a big picnic with the whole family. Then my cousins and I get together for a game of baseball in the front yard. My family has a great time when we are all together. Beautifully put together. So we've got a topic sentence, a conclusion that says the same thing, and then supporting sentences that connect with this topic. And notice this topic goes right back to the thesis statement that we had in the introductory paragraph. Body paragraph. This is the third point that we said we were going to write in our thesis statement, and it's about watching the fireworks. Again, we have our topic sentence, a conclusion sentence that says the same thing in different words, and in the middle we have supporting details that support this topic sentence, nothing more, nothing less. Finally, I love to watch fireworks on the 4th of July. At night, all of my family goes downtown to the city's annual fireworks display. We spread blankets on the cool grass and lie down facing the starry sky. Suddenly, the night is filled with glory. Fingers of color explode overhead. Great booms and pops fill the night. We all watch in amazement at the beautiful sight. The fireworks are a great ending to a perfect day. And that's your third body paragraph. So let's bring it. The 4th of July is a wonderful holiday. Eating good food, being with my family, and watching the fireworks make the holiday extra special. No wonder the 4th of July is my favorite holiday. Now, again, this is the same thesis looks when you put it together. There's a 5-paragraph essay. Paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? And these 3 right here make up the body of your essay. And notice that what you put in your thesis statement sets the organizational pattern for your essay, and then a conclusion. If you want to pause your screen, take some time to read and digest the information in front of you, I definitely recommend that, and then unpause when you're ready to move on. So I want you to notice that in this paragraph or this essay that we wrote, there are transitions, and transitions are the glue that hold your thoughts. So look at this here in front of us. This is the essay that we just wrote. Notice that these start with transition words. But not only there, within each paragraph, you'll notice transition words too that help connect the ideas. You want everything to flow together beautifully. So transitions have to be included in your essay, and you have to use a pattern that makes sense for your essay. There are some common transitions out there that you could use. These So in this lesson, we went over outlining, introduction, body, and conclusion as parts of the essay, and then we looked at an example of a 5-paragraph essay. So just keep these things in mind as you draft yours. Ask me if you have any questions at all. I would definitely be happy